Hello, and welcome to our radio drama presentation of Batman Beyond. This performance includes the two-part pilot of the animated series, as well as the Return of the Joker movie. Please note that this is a live performance, and the cast has had no rehearsals together, so there may be occasional stumbles in the dialogue. We are expecting to have a lot of fun and hope that you will too. And now, please enjoy Batman Beyond. On the outskirts of Gotham, a group of men work in a small plane hangar preparing a jet for takeoff. Nearby, a woman is tied up. As the apparent kidnappers work, a news program plays on a small television.
Big news in the financial world today. Once again, billionaire Bruce Wayne has averted an attempted takeover of his company by Derek Powers of Powers Technology. Powers vowed that he is not through yet, and speculation has seen stock in both men's company hit all-time highs. Still no word from the kidnappers of debutante Bunny Vreeland following a ransom payment of $5 million. At this hour, the police remain without leads as to the girl's whereabouts. Hey kid, you're on TV.
Outside, a man is standing guard and is knocked out by Batman. The hero's suit is all black except for the red bat insignia on his chest. It has no cape, but when he spreads his arms, wing panels extend, and he activates the jet boots to propel himself to the roof of the hangar, where he looks inside and sees the leader of the group counting money in a bag.
It's all here. Take care of her.
One of these grunts moves towards their hostage and points a gun at her, but the weapon is knocked out of his hand by a batarang.
Batman!
The other grunts run at the intruder, but are quickly knocked out. One of them is thrown hard onto the jet and collides with the group's leader, knocking him out as well as scattering the money across the floor. Batman takes a labored breath, then clutches his visibly uninjured chest with a pained expression. He walks unevenly toward the captive and begins untying her.
Ah, are you all right?
Batman turns and sees the leader of the kidnappers swinging a large wrench at him. The metal tool collides with the hero's skull and knocks him over. Batman leaps to his feet and dashes toward the criminal, but halfway there he clutches his chest again and collapses on the ground. He can hear his pulse in his ears as the kidnapper stands over him.
Ever since I was a kid, Big Bad Batman's always been making life hard for guys like me.
The kidnapper hits Batman several more times before kicking him aside. Batman sees one of the grunts dropped guns beside him, grabs it, and points it at his assailant. His aim is shaky, but the distance between the two men is so small that it doesn't matter.
No, don't!
The crook dashes out of the hangar just as the police pull up.
Freeze!
As the criminal is apprehended, Batman slips out away from the hangar and pulls off his mask, revealing a graying Bruce Wayne. He looks at the gun in his hand fearfully before dropping it and returning to the Bat Cave. Once there, he looks over a variety of trophies accumulated over his time as the Caped Crusader. Near the cave's entrance is a display case with 5 sections, each containing mannequins wearing hero suits. From left to right, they are the original gray Batman suit, Robin's red and black suit, Batgirl's yellow and black suit, Nightwing's blue and black suit, and finally, the red and black suit that Batman wore tonight. Bruce finishes hanging up the suit and closes the case with a resolute expression before moving to the cave's entrance.
Never again.
He flips a switch, turning off all the lights in the cave. 20 years later, technology has advanced significantly. Hovercrafts aren't quite as common as cars, but they're commonplace, and skyscrapers tower higher than ever. Inside a public transit elevator, a news program plays on a large monitor.
Making news today, as every day, Gotham's own financial czar, Derek Powers, rocked the stock market and by acquiring several large industrial firms. Everyone loves a winner, right, Kim?
That's right, Tom. In the third hostile Wayne Powers takeover this year, Powers has retained his crown as Gotham's most dynamic corporate kingpin. Insiders' fear of downsizing were realized today as Powers personally announced over 300 layoffs. The handsome CEO may not be making many friends, but he's sure making money. Turning to local weather.
The elevator stops and a burly man in a red and black clown outfit steps on board. He vandalizes the TV screen with spray paint and bows theatrically to the other passengers.
Thank you, thank you.
The crowd looks at him fearfully, and the man hones in on a woman with a purse in her lap, sitting beside her.
Oh, I saw you smile. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
He holds out his hand.
What do you want?
Payment for the joke you bought. I gave you a funny. You give me money.
I didn't buy anything.
She looks towards some of the other passengers who turn away, but a strapping young man with black hair and a brown leather jacket approaches the thug from behind.
Aw, you're shy. It's okay. I'll just help myself.
He yanks the woman's purse out of her hand, but the young man quickly twists the thug's arm and shoves him into the television screen.
Get lost, clown.
Oh, big man!
The thug swings and misses, but his opponent doesn't, and it's a solid hit.
Ugh, that does it.
The clown strikes a combat pose, but a moment later the elevator door opens and he runs away. The young man does not bother pursuing him.
Jokerz.
Later that day at Hamilton Hill High School, two girls walk toward the gymnasium.
If the coach had us do one more lap, I'd be sprouting gills.
As the duo approaches the gym door, they hear people chanting the name Nelson on the other side. Nelson! Nelson! Nelson!
Sounds like Nelson's got his monkeys rooting for him again.
They walk into the gym's bleachers and see a wrestling match in progress, officiated by a teacher. A burly student with red hair grapples the young man from the elevator.
Who's the victim this time? Terry?
My money's on Nelson.
I wouldn't be too sure, Chelsea.
You've never wrestled with him, Dana?
In the ring, Nelson gets Terry into a submission hold while the larger boy's cronies cheer.
Oh yeah, fold, Trig. I got you beat.
Funny, you remind me of a Joker I met this morning. Except he was prettier.
Nelson spits in Terry's face, and Terry retaliates by elbowing his opponent in the head. Nelson is knocked back a step, but quickly recovers and tackles Terry to the ground. The teacher blows a whistle as the two begin openly brawling.
Oh boy, not again.
All right, that's it, McGinnis. Get your clothes and get out.
But he just...
But nothing, Brendan. I saw you throw the first punch out.
Nelson has a satisfied look on his face as Terry exits the gym. Across town, in one of the tallest skyscrapers, a middle-aged man works in a private office. His typing is interrupted when the telephone rings.
Research, McGinnis.
Warren, it's Harry. Can you meet me on the landing right away?
Sure, is everything all right?
I'll explain when I see you.
A few minutes later, they meet on a terrace.
Harry, you look slagged.
Never mind that. Here, keep this for me.
Harry gives Warren a small disc, then wipes his forehead feverishly. Large, black spots are visible on his wrist.
What's wrong with your hand?
Nothing. Warren, if anything should happen to me.
There you are, Mr. Tully.
Harry and Warren turn to see a large man with a scarred eye in a suit, flanked by two armed guards.
You're late for your meeting with Mr. Powers.
Harry sprints away.
Harry! Come back here.
The guards quickly apprehend Harry and inject him with a sedative. As he collapses, his shirt rides up, showing that his chest and back are covered with black spots as well. Warren attempts to approach his friend, but a large man puts his hand on Warren's shoulder, holding him back.
Mr. Fixx, what's wrong with him?
The larger man doesn't answer as he and the guards take the unconscious Harry away. The next morning, Warren is welcomed into the executive office of Derek Powers, with Mr. Fixx standing nearby. Powers is an imposing man with well-kept white hair, dark eyes, and a chiseled jaw. He wears a dark, double-breasted suit with gold buttons.
I asked you here, Warren, to clear up any misconceptions you might have gotten from that incident with Mr. Tully. Harry simply suffered an allergic reaction to a chemical compound in the lab. Shook him up a bit, but he's under the best of care.
That's great. When can I see him?
Monday morning, first thing.
Ah, thank you, Mr. Powers.
Don't mention it, Mr. Warren.
Warren begins walking toward the door.
Oh, Warren, before I forget, there seems to be a file missing from Harry's records. Would you know where it is?
No, sir, I haven't any idea.
No, of course not.
After Warren exits, Powers glances at his bodyguard. That night, Warren investigates the disk on his home computer.
Harry, what were you working on? Oh, Powers can't be serious. He must be out of his mind to think.
Knock, knock.
Terry, I'm busy.
Dad, I gotta go out.
You're grounded, remember?
I didn't start the fight!
I'll hear all about it when we meet with the counselor. Again.
Mom would hear me out.
You're not living with your mom!
Yeah, don't remind me.
See, that's your problem right there. You can't control your temper. And you better if you expect to get anywhere in life.
Yeah, I'll be a big shot just like you. I'm bailing.
Terry.
Warren sighs as he watches his son storm off before returning to his computer. Shortly after Terry runs out of the house and across the street, a black car pulls up, with Mr. Fixx behind the wheel. Terry makes his way downtown to a club and sneaks up behind Dana and Chelsea, waiting in the line outside.
Boo!
Hey, I thought you were in solitary.
Well, I gave myself time off for good behavior.
I'm glad.
Tiles screech as a red sports car pulls up to the curb. Nelson and two of his cronies step out. Terry frowns and steps toward them, but Dana holds him back.
Whoa, don't go messing things up again.
Comedic horn honking is heard, and people turn to see 5 people in clown outfits on motorbikes drive up. One of them is in a purple suit and white mask with a black pompadour.
Evening, boys and girls. Who's up for some laughs?
The biker gang members cackle, and one of them drives on top of Nelson's car.
Hey!
Another biker drives behind Nelson and hits him in the back with a spiked club.
Ow! Oh yeah! Ow!
You're not smiling.
Hey, knock it off! You know, oh yeah!
I'd hold it off if you. I would if you'd hold still.
They drive around for a second pass, this time knocking Nelson to the ground. The leader of the gang drives up to Terry's group and scoops up Dana as he goes.
Cheer up, sweetness. Tickle, 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 tickle.
Stop!
Hands off, Drag!
Terry grabs the thug and tosses him into Nelson's car. The others don't take too kindly to that.
Split his sides.
One of the Jokerz brandishes a metal flail and drives at Terry, but misses and gets his weapon wrapped around a light pole. His bike keeps going and he wipes out. Terry then knocks two others off their bikes while Nelson watches next to Chelsea.
Oh, I knew McGinnis was a freak job. Oh, yeah.
Another group of Jokerz appear down the road, driving toward the club.
Oh no!
Ah, fun time!
Get out of here, Terry! Hurry!
Terry grabs one of the abandoned bikes and speeds off, pursued by the full Jokerz gang. He weaves through traffic on a multi-level highway, evading attacks as he goes. As multiple Jokerz close in on him, Terry drives onto a guardrail, then skids down to a lower level of the highway. He switches lanes and takes an exit toward Gotham Harbor that drops him near the outskirts of the city. He turns off the main road and begins driving up a winding hill, the Jokerz still visible in the distance. The road passes through a forest, and as Terry drives, his headlights abruptly reveal an elderly gentleman with a cane standing in the middle of the road. Terry swerves just in time to avoid a collision, but falls off his bike. The Jokerz quickly catch up and push Terry against an iron gate. None of them notice the large W's emblazoned on the pillars set at either side of the metal barrier or the archway above it.
Ah, the no-fun boy had an accident.
Let's put a smile on his face. Leave him alone.
The older man steps forward.
And get off my property. You're trespassing.
Oh, is that right?
It's okay, I can handle this.
Who do you think you're talking to, old man? We're the Jokerz.
Sure you are.
The Joker's leader punches at the man, but the man dodges, then hits the thug with his cane multiple times before sending him flying. Terry runs up to the property owner just before the gang charges at them, and together they beat up all of the Jokerz. Thoroughly trounced, the leader climbs back onto his bike.
Come on.
The copycat clowns drive off, leaving Terry and his newfound combat partner.
Man, you're something. I've never seen anyone.
The older man breathes weakly and begins hobbling toward the property's front gate.
Are you okay?
My medicine at the house.
He pulls a small remote out of his jacket pocket and opens the gate, revealing a large mansion behind it. As Terry helps the man up the driveway, a large black Doberman runs up to them, barking aggressively.
Down, Ace. He's okay.
Nice dog.
Not really.
Once inside the house, the man sits on a large chair in the mansion foyer, while Terry gets his medication and a glass of water.
All right, here you go. The pills were right where you said.
The man tosses back the pills along with a sip of water and lets out a sigh of relief before leaning back in his chair and closing his eyes.
Well then, I guess you're gonna rest now, huh? You go right ahead. My dad's probably waiting up for me anyway. I'll just let myself out. Hope you feel better, Mr.
The man begins snoring. With no reason to stay, Terry quietly goes to the front door and opens it, but is met by Ace, who barks loudly at him.
On second thoughts, maybe I should give my dad a call.
He walks into a study adjacent to the foyer and sees a phone on the desk.
Here's where I'm grounded for life.
He picks up the phone, but there's no dial tone. As he puts the phone down, he hears a soft screeching noise and turns to see a bat trapped behind the face of the grandfather clock standing against a nearby wall.
A bat? I'll get you out of there. Just don't bite me.
As he attempts to free the bat, the entire grandfather clock swings forward like a door, revealing a descending staircase.
Huh?
The bat unlodges itself and quickly retreats into the darkness below. Terry follows the bat down the staircase and reaches a platform near the bottom with a light switch. When he flips it, spotlights begin activating, illuminating a large black car, a motorcycle, and an elaborate computer console.
Whoa.
He walks down from the platform and turns to see the display case of 5 hero outfits.
Jeez. No wonder he could fight.
As he reaches for one of the cases, whack! Terry is abruptly hit from behind and knocked to the ground. When he looks up, he sees the old man looking down at him with a furious expression.
Get out!
A flock of bats flies above him, and the next thing Terry knows, he's outside the iron gate again, with Ace, the dog, blocking his re-entry.
All right, I'm going. It's not like I did anything wrong.
The only lit window in the mansion goes dark.
Freak.
Terry returns home, but when he arrives, he sees a squad of police cars parked outside his house with their lights active. He quickly runs inside and finds the entry hall vandalized with spray paint. Amongst the squiggles of color are the words "Ha ha" and a smiley face.
Dad? Oh my god.
He runs upstairs and finds his mother standing with members of the Gotham Police Department.
Terry? Oh, you're okay.
Mom, what happened?
A robbery. The police say it's the Jokerz. They surprised your father.
Where is he? Where's Dad?
Honey,
Terry sprints past the officers and into his father's bedroom.
Dad? Dad!
McGinnis leaves behind 2 sons, seen here with his former wife, Mary. Among the mourners was McGinnis' employer, Derek Powers.
I pledge to use whatever influence I have to see that these creatures pay for their heinous act.
Mary, still wearing her funeral attire, turns off the television in her living room. There's a young boy in a black suit sitting on a couch, but Terry himself is nowhere to be seen.
It was about Dad.
I know, hun. Why don't you get ready for...
Okay.
Mary goes upstairs and finds her eldest son in his room, sitting on his bed with a dark expression.
That friend of yours, Dana, called. She left her number. Have you eaten anything yet? Terry, you haven't said a word all day. Don't you want to talk?
Why would he open the door, Mom?
What?
They were Jokers. He wouldn't have opened the door. He would have looked first. How'd he trace me back to him?
Honey, we don't know if it's the same gang.
I should have been there.
No.
I could have helped him. I could have done something.
No.
Yes. I'm not afraid of those guys. We could have fought him off, me and Dad. We could have fought. I yelled at him, Mom. He grounded me and I wouldn't listen. The things I said.
Overcome with emotion, Terry hugs his mother.
Such a jerk.
The next day, the family moves Warren's belongings into Mary's house. Terry lugs a stack of boxes toward his room while his younger brother opens the door for him.
Hurry up, Matt.
I'm opening as fast as I can.
You're some help, you know that?
It's not my junk.
The top box on the stack slips forward and spills open.
Guess that's my fault too.
Terry slams the door in his brother Matt's face and begins picking up the scattered objects. The first thing he picks up is a small picture frame with a photograph of him and his father Warren, the glass cracked. He looks at the frame sorrowfully for a moment before noticing a small disc tucked into the back of the frame. He puts the disc into his computer and opens the first file he sees.
In the event of my death or disappearance... Whoa.
What you got there?
Terry startles as he realizes his little brother has gotten back into his room.
Something Dad was looking at.
Boring.
Tell Mom I had to go. I could be late.
Where are you going?
Out.
As he exits his room, a man watches a feed from a hidden camera in Terry's room and picks up a phone.
Yeah, looks like we got lucky.
Terry meets up with Dana, who drives him to the mansion at the edge of town, while dark clouds gather above Gotham.
If you just keep going on this road, it curves back to the freeway.
I can't just leave you out here.
Sure you can. I just have to see this guy.
About what?
I'll explain later. You better go before the storm hits.
Okay.
He kisses her on the cheek before walking toward the front gate.
Go.
Dana hesitates a moment before driving off. Once she's gone, Terry presses the button on the gate's intercom as lightning begins to illuminate the sky.
Come on, I know you're in there. Listen to me. Something stakes in your company. I think it cost my old man his life. The answer's on this. I take it to the cops, but you know how cozy they are with Powers. How about you taking a look? Yeah. I should have known you wouldn't care. You're no Batman, you whacked old fraud.
Terry begins walking away, but a moment later the gate swings open. When he walks through it, Ace the dog is there, growling at him.
Back off, Scooby. It's me.
Ace calms down and walks beside Terry toward the front door, where Bruce Wayne is waiting. Bruce wordlessly guides Terry to the Batcave and loads the disc onto the console. After sifting through the files, they find one that shows a DNA strand and a healthy cell rapidly deteriorating. At the bottom of the display is a red label that reads, Biohazard, Extreme Danger, Level 5.
It's worse than I thought. It's some kind of new DNA mutagen. Powers is making a nerve gas. He's using my company to make nerve gas.
Bruce turns away from the computer to see Terry opening one of the Batsuit display cases.
Stay away from that.
Synaptic controls, neuromuscular amplification, flight capability. This thing might be old, but it's still cutting edge. Bet it amplifies your strength by at least 10 to 1.
Terry reaches toward the suit.
I told you not to touch it.
But aren't you gonna go to...
No.
You built that company, and now Powers is making nerve gas there? You gotta do something. You're Batman.
I was Batman. Give this disc to Commissioner Barbara Gordon. Tell her I sent you.
The cops? They'll never be able to do...
Just do it.
Something happened to you, didn't it? And it wasn't just that you got old.
Bruce closes the display case and sends his visitor away. Terry heads toward the police station on foot, but halfway there, he's nearly run over by a hovering limousine.
Hey!
Terry backs up and bumps into a large man with a scarred eye.
Oh my.
The vehicle's tinted rear window opens, revealing Derek Powers.
Hello, Terry. Ever had a ride in a limo?
My dad always told me never to take rides from strangers.
Who's a stranger? Besides, your dad's not around anymore. Be smart, Terry. Get in.
I'll pass.
Mr. Fixx grabs Terry and begins forcing him into the car.
Let go of me! What are you doing? Some kind of sicko? Help! Help!
That won't do you any good, Terry. Why don't you make it easy on yourself and give me back my disc?
What disc?
You know what I'm talking about.
All right, if he lets go.
Powers nods and his bodyguard releases Terry, who pulls the disc out of his shoe and holds it out toward Powers.
Happy?
As Powers goes to take the disc, Terry tosses it into the street and knees Mr. Fixx in the groin. The hulking man falls to the ground as Terry sprints away. Two armed guards climb out of the limo and begin shooting at Terry, who jumps down to a lower level of the road and starts getting away.
Enough. Well, at least I've got the evidence.
Powers picks up the disc and returns to his limo.
Gotham rolled out the red carpet today for Kansian Minister of Commerce, Vilmos Egans. Mr. Egans is here to take part in the World Trade Confab and was greeted by no less than Wayne Power CEO Derek Powers.
Bruce, watching the broadcast from his mansion, turns off the television. A moment later, he hears Ace barking outside. When he looks out the window, he sees his dog tied to the front gate with a piece of rope. Bruce's eyes go wide as he opens the window and tosses a batarang out, cutting the rope. The dog quickly runs into the house.
What is it? What's the matter, boy?
Ace leads Bruce to the grandfather clock in his study, and when they go down into the bat cave, the display case that once held the red and black batsuit is empty. Meanwhile, Terry clumsily flies through Gotham. He is gradually able to get the hang of the suit and makes his way to Wayne Tower, where he sees Powers and the Kasnian minister meeting in the executive office.
It's the ultimate in germ warfare. A viral mutagen so quick-acting and completely invasive, no living cell can resist it. It all began with experiments on plants.
Powers shows his guest a video of a plant being sprayed with a bright green gas. The plant withers and dissolves into dust after only seconds.
Impressive. But we are looking to do more than wipe out our enemies' crops, Mr. Powers.
Keep watching. This was our first experiment with livestock.
The diplomat's expression becomes uncomfortable as he watches a video of a calf being exposed to the gas. Outside, Terry hides beside an office window just out of sight. He presses his fingers to the window, and the receptors in the suit's gloves allow him to hear the conversation inside.
I trust the film puts to rest any lingering doubts, Mr. Egans. As you can see, the results are the same, even with animals.
And humans? You've tested it out on them too.
Oh, the laws here aren't as liberal about that sort of thing as they are in your country, but we did have a little accident. One of my workers, terrible thing. There was a gas leak in his lab. This was what he looked like the next day.
Powers hands a stack of photographs to Egans. The pictures show Harry on an operating table, with black splotches all over his body.
2 hours later.
The next photograph shows Harry unconscious, and the black spots are multiple times larger.
An hour after that.
Egan's face goes pale.
Is no cure?
Extreme heat or radiation, but at this stage it's obviously not an option.
Powers flips to the last picture in the stack, and Egans looks away.
Dust to dust. Consider what a real dose of this gas could do to those 6 armored divisions your neighbors keep on your border. Gone in a matter of hours.
Delivery. It's in progress?
My men are loading the canisters as we speak. They leave tonight on hover transport. My assistant, Mr. Fixx, will personally supervise the shipment.
Excellent. Goodbye, Mr. Powers. I will see you again soon, I hope.
Yes, soon.
Egans shakes Derek's hand and leaves the office.
Mr. Fixx, any word on the child?
Not yet, but they're looking.
I don't have to tell you how important this deal is to Wayne Powers. I'm not going to open up the entire. It's going to open up the entire Eastern Bloc for us, so I don't need it spoiled by a snot-nosed punk.
I took care of his old man, didn't I?
Outside, Terry's face twists with anger. His rage is interrupted when a gun is pointed at his head, and he turns to see several guards on the ledge with him.
A little early for Halloween.
Yeah, but just in time for fall.
And he jumps off the ledge with that, gliding down to the lower level of the tower.
Hit the alarms!
Powers and Fixx drive through the facility on a small cart, and Powers answers his telephone as the alarms blare through the halls.
It's Powers. What's going on? Batman?
Or some guy dressed like him. We're cutting him off. Shouldn't be a problem.
Powers hangs up.
Batman.
Elsewhere, Terry hides in a storeroom while guards pass by outside.
McGinnis, can you hear me?
Who's that?
It's Wayne.
Mr. Wayne? Where are you?
Oh, Lord. In the radio receiver in your cowl. Now listen to me, McGinnis. I want that suit back, and I want it now.
Bruce Wayne is at the Batcave's supercomputer. Terry sees several guards enter the storeroom and carefully evades them.
Now is not a good time.
That suit is not yours. You
Somebody
have no
had-
right.
Somebody had to do something, and you sure weren't about to.
I'm warning you.
He's over there! Over there!
The guards notice Terry's shadow and run toward him, but Terry soars into them, then up into a hanging crane.
The suit works even better than I thought it would.
This is your last chance. Better take it.
The guards open fire.
No thanks. Having too much fun.
Fun, huh?
Terry soars down and knocks down several of the guards. As they stand up, one of them pushes past his associates.
He's mine!
In the Batcave, Bruce Wayne presses a button, and the Batsuit goes rigid.
Hey, I can't move. What do you do?
It's a fail-safe device. Paralyzes the suit in case the wrong person gets in.
You can't.
I did.
Hey. Oh,
The guards begin beating up Terry.
come on. You gotta help me.
Out of the way!
With a harsh click, the guard cocks his gun.
Wayne, they're gonna kill me.
Bruce Wayne pauses for a moment before pressing the button once again.
Yeah.
Now mobile again, Terry launches a batarang to disarm the guard above him, then kicks aside two others and retreats into the stacks of crates lining the storeroom.
McGinnis, I gave you a break. Now, bring that suit back.
Love to, but I got these guards all over me.
There's a broom closet to the north wall. Can you get to it?
A broom closet?
Do it.
Did you see him? Where is he?
Terry slips into the small room and closes the door behind him.
Now I'm a sitting duck. Hope you're happy.
The far wall. Put your hand against it. Press hard.
The wall rotates about an axis, and the guards burst into the room the moment after it stops moving, leaving them perplexed with an empty broom closet.
Oh, cool.
I built the place, remember?
Then you know where they're loading a hover transport, wouldn't you?
Forget it. You're coming back here.
Powers is shipping out the virus tonight. It's gotta be stopped.
I'll call the police. Let them handle it.
I can do it.
I'll shut down the suit again, and this time it'll be for good.
I read up on you, Mr. Wayne. I know how you lost your folks. The guy who murdered my dad is on that transport. This is my one chance to nail him.
The hover pads are at the northeast sector.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
At the hoverpad, dozens of gas canisters are loaded onto an aircraft by a man operating a heavy-duty claw. Guards sweep the area while Powers talks on his phone, and Mr. Fixx stands nearby. None of them see Terry hanging from a pipe on the side of the building.
You said he wouldn't be a problem. Well, deal with it.
Almost unloading.
The sooner the better. They haven't found our trespasser yet, and I don't want him interfering.
Hey, look, there he is!
The guards finally spot Terry and begin firing their guns at him. Terry launches himself down from the pipe and topples the firing squad like a set of dominoes before swooping over to Powers and Fixx.
You're out of business as of now. And as for you, Fixx, I'm taking you in for the murder of... Ugh!
The person operating the large claw hits Terry in the back, sending him across the floor. Mr. Fixx pulls out his gun, but Powers takes it from him.
Get that hovercraft into the air!
Fixx complies, and the claw operator picks up Terry, strangling his torso with the machinery. As the operator prepares to crush the intruder, Terry tosses a batarang, knocking the man out. Terry is released, but quickly finds himself dodging bullets fired by Powers. Meanwhile, Fixx boards the aircraft.
Shut the cargo doors.
Terry throws a batarang at Powers, but the CEO blasts it out of the air.
Like shooting skeet.
Terry runs around a corner and finds a spare tank of the mutagen gas. When Powers turns the corner a moment later, Terry throws the canister at him. Powers, seeing movement, instinctively shoots. The bullet isn't enough to stop the container from hitting him and knocking him to the ground, but it is enough to puncture the container. When Powers realizes what has hit him, he's already in a cloud of gas.
No! No!
Terry is able to grab the side of the aircraft as it takes off, while Powers emerges from the gas cloud already covered in black spots. He sees two guards nearby and crawls toward them as the gas continues pouring over the platform.
Help me! Help me!
The guards flee, leaving Derek Powers to die. At the same time, the aircraft is already flying over Gotham Harbor. Terry is able to pull himself to a hatch on top of the ship, open it, and get inside. He quickly tosses two guards overboard and makes his way to the cockpit, but the pilot seat is empty. He sees the autopilot panel light up and turns just in time to see Mr. Fixx now sporting electrified brass knuckles before he is punched in the face. Fixx goes in for another set of punches, but Terry grabs him by the wrists and manages to hold back the brawler several times his size.
You're pretty strong for some clown who thinks he's Batman.
I am Batman.
Terry pushes just enough to give himself the opening for a punch, then another, knocking Fixx back into the ship's console where his electrified knuckles collide with the machinery. Fixx yells out in pain as electricity surges through him and overloads the ship's systems. Terry is able to escape the aircraft just before it plunges into Gotham Harbor. Mr. Fixx regains consciousness just in time to be crushed by water flooding into the ships as it sinks to the murky depths. The next morning, Terry is awoken by a knock on his bedroom door.
Terry, honey,
What?
get dressed. We have company.
Company?
Mr. Bruce Wayne. He's happy. He's here to see you.
When Terry goes downstairs, his mother is serving coffee.
I hope you don't mind, milk. We're out of cream.
I prefer it.
Bruce politely accepts the mug and sees the newcomer.
Terrence, sorry to get you up so early.
It's okay.
You never told me you know Bruce Wayne.
Well, actually,
Why, I owe this boy my life. He defended me against a bunch of hoodlums once. I tried to reward him, but he absolutely refused.
Mr. Wayne wants to offer you a job.
a job?
It's not much, mind you. I find that in my old age, I could use a part-time assistant. You know, go for here, go for this, go for that. An ally, as it were. Would you be interested?
Of course you would. Wouldn't you, honey? I mean, to work with someone as famous as Mr. Wayne.
Sure.
I warn you, I can be a difficult taskmaster. I accept nothing short of excellence from all who work for me.
Well, I think I can handle it.
Very good, then. Mr. McGinnis, welcome to my world.
Over the next 2 years, Terry McGinnis becomes a fully realized Batman. He comes face to face with some of Bruce Wayne's greatest foes, including Mr. Freeze, the Royal Flush Gang, Bane, and more. Bruce gradually becomes somewhat warmer toward his protege, but not that much. One night, in a skyscraper labeled Gotham Shipping, a security guard on one of the top floors flees an unknown assailant.
Stay back!
A man who looks like he was spliced with a hyena sprints out of the darkness and savages the guard. Another man who resembles a scarecrow with a stitched body and a jack-o'-lantern shirt stands over the victim.
He should have said heal.
The intruders step into the main area of the storage facility with 4 more associates. One is a portly man in a pink jumpsuit with a clown mask. Another is a tall, burly man with pale skin and a red shirt and black overalls. And the last 2 are identical girls in matching red crop tops and boots, along with white shorts and hats. The girls cartwheel and flip toward a large circular machine, while their associates climb into forklift hovercrafts parked near the entrance. The burly man accidentally puts his vehicle in reverse and crashes into a wall before moving forward too fast and colliding with his target.
Oh, slag it.
He's got a really delicate touch, Dee Dee. Delicate like a moose, Dee Dee.
I hate ripping this heavy junk. Give me cash cards any day.
The man in the pink clothes and mask is much more adept with his vehicle and positions it on the opposite side of the machine. With both in position, they begin hauling it toward the exit.
Zip it, Bonk. The plan is to get in and get out fast.
The 6 criminals look up as they see a shadow swoop over them and see Terry in his batsuit, perched on a crane.
It's a school night, boys and girls. I'm gonna have to call your folks.
Bonk releases the machine, causing the DDs to tumble into the onto his hovercraft just before he begins flying toward Terry.
Whoa!
The man in pink pulls out a laser rifle and fires it at Terry, but misses. Bonk intercepts Terry mid-flight and attempts to punch him, but also misses. Bonk then begins steering wildly in an attempt to throw Terry off, but Terry activates his electromagnets in his boots, allowing him to easily remain stable on the hovercraft, while the DDs struggle to remain on board.
Bonk! Don't!
Yeah, Bonk, don't.
Terry jumps off and throws a batarang at the clown in pink's rifle, disarming him. The 2 brawl for a moment, but Terry easily overpowers him. He then begins fighting Bonk, the Jack-o'-lantern man, and the hyena. He is able to maintain the upper hand, but suffers a few scratches from the animal-human hybrid. When he turns to the DDs, they cower in fear, and Terry hesitates for a moment. Bonk groans and starts to get up, and when Terry looks away, one of the DDs pulls out a taser and zaps him. The twins begin hitting Terry with a coordinated set of acrobatic kicks, but Terry throws them off before too long.
Let's go. Dee Dee, open the door.
On the double, Chucko!
The hyena keeps Terry occupied while one of the twins grabs a third forklift and joins up with Bonk and Chucko, while her sister jumps onto Bonk's vehicle, and they begin moving the large machine out of the warehouse. Terry finishes beating up the hyena and the jack-o'-lantern, then leaps out of the warehouse and glides toward the thieves, who are carrying their prize high over the streets of Gotham.
Incoming!
Bonk detaches from the payload to pursue Terry, causing the other two vehicles to begin losing altitude.
Bonk, you moron, get back here!
Bonk intercepts Terry, and the DD on board kicks at him, but is knocked off of the ship. Seeing this, the other twin detaches from the payload as well and tries to save her sister, but Terry is able to grab the falling DD's leg with a grappling hook, and she is dragged along behind Bonk's hovercraft. Bonk himself leaps out of the cockpit and pins Terry to the hood of the vehicle.
You got a death wish, Bats?
Well, I thought I was just being a good citizen.
Bonk punches Terry while the DD who isn't on the grappling hook catches her sister.
Got you, sis!
Bonk begins choking Terry, who tilts his head slightly backward.
What'd you say?
Flag pole.
Bonk is clotheslined by a flagpole and manages to grab it to avoid plummeting from several hundred feet in the air, while Terry leaps off of the still-moving vehicle before it collides with a building. Nearby, Chucko crashes down onto the highway with a large machine. The pink clown climbs on top of the badly damaged device and pulls a circuit board from the top.
Come on.
He waves down his associates, who use their last working hovercraft to scoop him up and get away before part of the damaged building falls onto the machine, causing it to explode. Terry watches from a rooftop as sirens blare in the distance.
That ain't coming out of my allowance.
In the Batcave, Bruce Wayne tosses a batarang, which flies around mannequins of his various foes, cleanly decapitates a model of Two-Face, and then returns to him.
Still got it.
He prepares to go another round, but stops when Terry's hovering Batmobile flies into the cave.
How did it go with the Jokerz?
I broke up the robbery, but it was weird. Third time this month that particular gang was trying to intercept high-tech machinery. Jokerz don't use that stuff.
They're probably fencing it. Corporate espionage is big business.
Well, I may as well sit tight until I can get another shot at them.
They move over to the Batcave's console, where a news broadcast is playing.
Hey, looky here.
That's right, Tom. Today, billionaire Bruce Wayne stunned the financial world with plans to resume active leadership of Wayne Enterprises. While shareholders have generally welcomed Wayne's return, support for some key members of the Wayne board has been oddly lukewarm. Company operations manager Jordan Pryce offered this comment. I, of course, join the rest of our Wayne Enterprises family in welcoming back our most valuable senior resource, Bruce Wayne. I'm sure we'll all profit from his years of experience. Still, the day-to-day rigors of running a vast, multinational conglomerate will be stressful, even for a young man. I hope Mr. Wayne is up to the challenge.
Well, he's not bitter. Much.
Pryce was next in line for the top spot. My return torpedoed any dreams he had of succession.
Well, you gonna keep him around?
If he'll stay on my terms, I've worked long and hard to regain the control of my family's company, and I won't hand it over again. Pryce can either get with that program or start emailing his resume.
With all the long hours you've been planning on putting in at the office, does this mean you'll have less time for...
Nah, who sleeps anymore?
Uh,
You okay?
well, you know the Jokerz are going in for splicing now? Crazy hyena boy nearly took a bite out of me. No way I could have explained that to Dana.
You're not going out now.
Well, the night is young, and so am I.
You know, I think a good night's rest may be more beneficial.
And like you said, who sleeps anymore?
Bruce frowns but allows Terry to go. Terry and Dana meet up at the club. The club's interior is a combination of techno and retro, with circuit board lines all along the floors, and several massive lava lamps providing dim, multicolored lighting. They find a table, and shortly after sitting down, Terry falls asleep.
Up and at 'em, Terry. You can doze on Bruce Wayne's time, not mine.
She leads him onto the dance floor.
Sorry, Dane.
Terry begins dozing off mid-dance, his eyes drooping and his stance wobbling.
Great song, huh?
Eh,
Did you see the squid blades with PU? Hair, my head's on fire.
Eyes still closed, Terry takes a step forward and ends up in front of another girl.
you look good.
McGinnis!
Terry opens his eyes and looks back at Dana sheepishly.
Sorry, babe. Guess the night was longer than I thought.
Let's sit this one out, okay?
She leads Terry back to their table and gets the attention of a waiter.
Coffee. And leave the pot.
Elsewhere in Gotham, the Jokerz return to their base of operations, an abandoned Jolly Jack's candy factory. In the main room of the factory is a long table, with someone, obscured by shadows, sitting at the far end.
Batman showed up and we had to ditch. We were able to save this. Console's memory board. I know it's not much, but
He slides it across the table.
It's not much. It's nothing.
A pale hand reaches out and smashes the memory board.
Losers, all of you. A disgrace to the name Joker. Why, in my day...
In your day, ever since you conned your way into this gang, it's been your day this and your day that.
Bonk.
Your day is over, old man. Even if you are who you say you are. And personally, I think you're a fake.
Ah, brave new world that has such putzes in it.
He's got us running around ripping a lot of geek junk, but no cash. He won't tell us what his plan is, even if he has one. I want out.
If you insist.
The gang's apparent leader pulls out a gun and points it at Bonk.
Hey man, take it easy. I was just kidding.
The man pulls the trigger, and a bang, that is to say, a flag with the word bang, pops out of it on a small pole.
So was I.
As the gang members breathe a sigh of relief, the man pulls the trigger a second time, and bang, a real bang. The gun shoots the flag, piercing Bonk through the heart. The brute falls over on the table, dead and grinning.
Whoops. No, I wasn't.
The obscured man steps out of the shadows. He has dark purple clothes, ghostly white skin, slicked green hair, a wicked grin, and appears to be in his prime.
That's also how we did it in my day. You know, kids, a lot has changed while your old Uncle Joker's been away. New Gotham, new rules, even a new Batman. But now I'm tanned, I'm rested, and I'm ready to give this old town a wedgie again. I have to know you're with me. Will you say it for me one time?
We're with you.
With you.
Little louder.
We're with you.
We're with you.
Dee Dee?
We're with you.
Boys?
We're with you.
We're with you.
Woofy baby?
The hyena hybrid licks Joker's face.
Aw, that's a good little hyena hybrid thing. Bonk? Oh, right. Dead. Dee Dee, be a lamb and sweep out the trash.
The twins struggle as they move Bonk's corpse off of the table.
There's a good girls. Your renewed faith puts a smile in my heart. What say we forget tonight's mishap and start over?
Great, boss.
Ghoul, my boy, we're gonna need another system scanner. Who's got one they'd be willing to donate?
Ghoul moves over to a computer and begins pulling up files.
Checking. What we're after is cutting edge. These are the only other places we'd find one.
Nope. No. Ah.
What? There. Security's gonna be tight.
Oh, yes. But think of the fun.
We will now take a 10-minute intermission from this radio drama broadcast of Batman Beyond. Have a drink, go to the bathroom, and we will meet you back here again in 10 minutes for the second half of the show. We now return to our radio drama presentation of Batman Beyond. The next evening, Bruce Wayne and Terry attend a gala on the rooftop garden of Wayne Tower.
Good evening, Mr. Wayne.
Miss Carr, you remember my assistant, Terry McGinnis?
Of course. I'm glad you could join us, Terry. Everyone is here. Well, except Mr. Pryce, unfortunately.
That's no surprise.
Carr leads Bruce Wayne to a small stage with a podium and addresses the attendees.
May I have your attention, please? It is my pleasure to welcome back the guiding light of this company, Bruce Wayne.
The assembled business leaders and reporters cheer as Mr. Wayne steps up to the podium.
Thank you, Joyce. It's a pleasure to see you all again. In the future, I hope to...
The sound system screeches with feedback for a moment.
spend time getting to know each and every member of our company, learning about you individually.
Feedback rings out again, this time with another sound beneath it.
No.
Bruce Wayne startles as he hears the laughter. The noise fades. A wolf leaps out of some bushes and runs toward the stage. Terry tries to intercept him, but the spliced human leaps over him and onto the stage, snarling at Bruce Wayne, who narrows his eyes at the intruder while the guests begin fleeing.
Security, emergency on the terrace level.
In the security room, the guards mobilize, but when they open the security room door, they come face to face with Ghoul and Chucko in gas masks. Ghoul tosses a smoke grenade into the room, which quickly incapacitates the guards. Outside, Wolf leaps at Bruce, but is swatted away by his cane. Terry runs up to Bruce.
You gonna be okay?
Go to work.
Terry nods and sprints away, while Bruce Wayne walks in the other direction. As he reaches the stage steps, the Dee twins leap down from the rafters.
Well, if it isn't old Mr. Wayne. So debonair. So dapper.
She knees Bruce Wayne in the stomach.
So decrepit.
They throw Bruce Wayne toward center stage. As he begins to pick himself up, A trap door opens next to him, releasing purple smoke as a platform raises someone onto the stage. Bruce's eyes go wide as the smoke clears and he sees the grinning figure looking down at him.
Hello, Gotham! Joker's back in town!
It can't be.
Oh no, your old eyes do not deceive you, Brucey. After all, who'd know me better than you?
Back off, gruesome.
Terry, now in a batsuit, flies onto the stage.
Ah, the new boy. Ears are a little too long, and I miss the cape, but not too shabby at all. Woof.
The Beastman pounces onto Terry and the two begin fighting while the Joker speaks into an intercom on his wrist.
How's it coming, boys?
Inside the tower, Ghoul and Chucko have just finished loading a machine similar to the one they attempted to steal before onto their ship.
We're home free.
Then I'll see you there. Time to go, Dee.
He presses a button on his watch and an airship floats up to the rooftop garden. The Joker gives Bruce Wayne a cheeky salute before running off with his lackeys and jumping into the ship. He whistles and woof disengages from his fight with Terry and joins them on the ship as it takes off. Terry prepares to pursue them, but Joker pulls out a remote and presses a button, detonating multiple bombs on the rooftop. Part of the floor gives out beneath a few of the attendees, who are left clinging to the edge of the roof.
Well, what's it gonna be, Batfake?
The Joker grins as Terry leaps to save the partygoers. When he returns them to the rooftop, the clowns are gone, and Bruce Wayne is looking up at the empty night sky. Later, Terry drives down the highway toward Wayne Manor with Bruce Wayne in the passenger seat.
I know what you're thinking. I messed up. I let the clown go in order to save those people.
You did the right thing.
So, the Joker, huh? Looks pretty spry for a guy who's got to be, what, mid-80s? Any theories on that? Clone? Robot? Suspended animation due to floating around in frozen block of ice?
Shut up and drive.
Yes, sir.
Across town, a middle-aged man watches the news in his apartment.
This was the scene just 3 hours ago as a man claiming to be the legendary Joker disrupted a ceremony at the newly opened Wayne Enterprises building.
Honey, what are you watching?
Adding to the drama was the appearance of another Gotham icon, the Batman, who engaged his one-time foe in a stunning aerial battle.
Honey?
The man grips his knee uncomfortably.
It's nothing, sweetheart.
He mutes the television, but continues watching the footage of the Joker laughing.
Nothing.
The next morning, Terry walks into the office of a stern-looking woman with gray hair. The woman is looking out her window solemnly.
Go away.
Morning, Commish.
You understand English, McGinnis? Scram.
Love to. But first, what can you tell me about clowns?
In this town, they're never funny.
I noticed that.
The commissioner sits at her desk while Terry takes the seat across from her.
Now, this Joker.
Drop it, kid.
That's what the old man's been saying.
Listen to him.
Hey, look. I know this fruitcake was one of the big bad guys from the Cape and Cowl days.
He was more than that.
What? A garden variety wacko who threatened people with whoopee cushions and squirting flowers? Big deal, I'm shaking.
McGinnis!
She glares at the young man, who leans back in his chair.
The Joker. The real Joker was unlike anyone you've ever faced, and for your sake, I hope you never do. If Bruce wants you to drop it, then drop it.
The phone on her desk beeps and a secretary is heard.
Commissioner, your 9 o'clock is here.
Send him in. You were leaving?
Figure I was.
As Terry walks out of the office, the middle-aged man passes him and walks in.
Thanks for seeing me, Barb.
That's what I'm here for.
In the Bat Cave, Bruce Wayne sits at the Bat computer, looking at his Bat files on the Joker. Pictures of the Clown Prince of Crime from his earlier years are displayed, all with uncanny resemblance to the criminal he met the night before. The words Joker, deceased are displayed at the bottom of the screen. Bruce brings up 2 audio files and puts them through a voice identification program. The first is a clip from decades ago.
A countdown of victims that will end at midnight, unless our dear Dark Knight stops me first.
The second clip is from the previous night.
Hello, Gotham. Joker's back in town.
Bruce Wayne holds an even gaze as the words voice match, identical appear on the screen. Terry appears behind him.
It's funny. I know all about all your other enemies, but you never mentioned him. He was the biggest, wasn't he?
It wasn't a popularity contest. He was a psychopath. A monster.
So how is it possible that he could still be around after all this time?
It's not possible. He died years ago.
You're sure?
I was there.
You killed him, didn't you? He was going to do something so terrible you had no other choice.
Terry,
That was it, wasn't it?
I want you to give back the Batman suit.
What? Why?
There's no reason for you to continue. You've made your father's killers pay for his murder, then put your own needs aside to help the city when it most needed a hero. You've honored the reputation of Batman many times over, and I thank you.
Then why?
I had no right to force this life on you or anyone else.
He turns toward the display case with 4 remaining suits. His original gray cape and cowl, Robin's red and black suit, Batgirl's yellow and black suit, and Nightwing's blue and black suit.
I was the one who broke in and swiped the suit, remember? Yes, there was my dad's murder, but we come from 2 different worlds, Mr. Wayne. I wasn't like you or the kids you took in. I was a pretty bad kid once. Ran with a rough crowd. Broke a lot of laws to say nothing to my folks' hearts. The kind of punk you wouldn't have wasted a second punch on back in the day.
Your point?
Trying to make up for past sins. The state says my 3 months in juvie wiped me clean, but my soul tells me different. Every time I put on that suit, it's my chance to help people who are in trouble. I guess on a personal level, it's a chance to look like a worthwhile human being again. In my eyes, if no one else's. It's what I want, Bruce.
Stupid kid. You don't know what you want. None of you ever did.
Terry throws his backpack at Bruce Wayne's feet and his suit falls out. Neither of them say anything as Terry storms out of the cave. The next morning, Matthew McGinnis sees his older brother Terry eating breakfast and stares at him suspiciously.
Mom, come quick! Some weirdo broke into our house.
Maddie, what are you yelling about?
There's a stranger sitting at our table.
Ha ha.
That's your brother.
I've never seen him before in my life.
It is rare that you're up around before noon. Harry, with your job and all?
Well, I'm not working for Mr. Wayne anymore.
Well, it will be nice to have you home for a change. Right, Matt?
Sure, great. Just when I was getting used to being an only child.
Terry flicks a bit of cereal at his younger brother.
Mom!
That night, Dana and Chelsea meet up at the club.
Every once in a while, we have to do it, Dane. Ditch the guys and have a night out to ourselves.
It may be a change for you, Chelsea. I don't see enough of Terry to know the difference.
Well, Terry's sweet and all, but who says you can't make friends with someone new?
Not a chance.
Terry!
He leads her onto the dance floor.
I thought you'd be working as usual.
Well, the bad news is, for the time being, I'm not going to have much money coming in. The good news is you have me all to yourself.
I can live with that.
They dance together for a while before they are interrupted by identical twins.
Cutting in.
One of them bumps Dana away as they start dancing with Terry.
Hey!
Before she can return to Terry, Ghoul grabs her from behind. A moment later, Terry glances over to see that Dana is gone.
Dana?
In the Batcave, Bruce works with various chemicals and pours the resulting solution into a vial labeled Joker Antitoxin, with Ace the dog sleeping beside him. Suddenly, Ace wakes and starts barking aggressively.
What is it, boy?
Ace sprints up to the cave's staircase.
Ace?
Bruce Wayne hears his dog yelp in pain.
Ace!
Bruce Wayne grabs his cane and approaches the staircase. But as he does, a purple and green ball tumbles down the stairs and lands near him, just before it releases dark green gas into the cave. Bruce Wayne coughs as he walks weakly toward his chemical setup, but collapses when he gets there, dropping the 2 vials of antitoxin. One of them shatters while the other rolls away out of reach. His eyes water as he sees the Joker emerge from the smoke.
Don't get up, Bruce. It's just an old friend coming by to say hello.
Joker throws Bruce Wayne into the Bat-computer's chair.
Hello, Batman.
Back at the club, Terry continues searching for his girlfriend.
Dana?
One of the twins kicks him in the back.
It was her.
They both begin attacking Terry, while Wolf and Chucko enter and join them.
Don't know why the boss wants a drag like you out of the way, but hey, as long as it's fun.
On the upper level of the club, Dana stomps on Ghoul's foot and escapes his grasp for a moment, but he quickly grabs her by the hair.
Gary!
Dana!
Let me go! Sure, cutes.
Ghoul shoves Dana off the upper level and she hits a light fixture on her way down, but Terry is able to grab her before she hits the ground.
Slag him!
Chucko tosses guns to the DDs and they all open fire. The club, having somehow remained calm amidst the previous mayhem, becomes chaotic, and patrons swarm around the exit. Terry sees Chelsea, who is hiding and not fleeing, and brings Dana to her.
Dana?
Stay out of sight.
He returns to the dance floor and beats up Ghoul, but regains the attention of the others as he starts climbing up one of the massive lava lamps.
There! What's he doing? You got me.
Just finish him!
Terry positions himself between the wall and the lamp and uses his legs to topple the light fixture, flooding the dance floor and washing away everyone but Chucko.
Ah, you made a mess! Drag!
Chucko points his gun at Terry and pulls the trigger, but only a gush of water emerges from the barrel. The large clown's momentary shock is enough for Terry to get close and knock out the criminal. Soon enough, the police and paramedics arrive, and when Terry emerges from the club, he sees his girlfriend being put into an ambulance with Chelsea nearby.
Dana!
She's got a bad bump and some cuts, but she's gonna be okay. Why were those guys after you?
I don't know. Look, I'm gonna go talk to the cops. Stay with her, okay, Chelsea? I'll come as
Sure.
soon as I can.
Sure.
Chelsea is allowed to board the ambulance before it drives off. Once it's gone, Terry gets on his bike and rides recklessly down the highway. After blasting through an intersection and almost causing a collision, he taps some buttons on the side of his helmet.
Leave a message.
Hey, the Joker's little playmates were after me tonight. Me, not Batman. This whole thing stinks, Wayne, and you know why. I need some straight answers from... Wait, it's night. Where does he go?
He revs the bike and races to Wayne Manor, where he finds the gate hanging open. When he runs into the mansion, he finds the place completely trashed.
Wayne? Wayne!
He finds Ace, Bruce Wayne's dog, lying down in the study, injured and whimpering, but not in critical condition.
Ace!
Next to Ace, the grandfather clock that normally conceals the entrance to the Bat Cave is off of its hinges. Terry sprints past the destroyed grandfather clock and into the Bat Cave. The mannequins of former villains are scattered across the floor. The display case of the bat suits is smashed open, and the words "Ha, ha, ha" are written in red all over the floor and the Bat computer console, where Bruce Wayne is slumped over.
Please, God, no.
Terry runs to Bruce Wayne and carefully flips him over. Bruce Wayne's eyes are wide open, and he has a wide, toothy grin on his face.
Floor. Under. Table.
Bruce Wayne continues laughing as Terry finds the remaining vial of the Joker antitoxin and delivers the dose. He quickly calms down and falls unconscious. Later that night, Commissioner Barbara Gordon wipes some sweat from the still sleeping Bruce Wayne's forehead.
How is he?
The antitoxin's done all it can. It's up to him now.
Thanks for coming. I didn't know who to call.
Who else?
That reminds me. I'd better check on our other patient.
Terry goes into the living room, where Ace is watching Looney Tunes on the television.
How you doing, killer?
Ace lets out a low growl.
Yeah. Rough night for me, too.
Terry grabs the remote control and changes the television channel to the news.
Sad news from the financial world this morning. The return of Bruce Wayne to his family's company has been delayed due to an accident. Wayne Enterprises' Jordan Pryce had this to say.
We received a
hold on,
call
the
from Mr. Wayne's houseboy this morning saying Mr. Wayne had taken a bad fall. Everyone at the Wayne Enterprises family sends their prayers and good wishes for our senior member for his speedy recovery.
Terry turns off the television as Commissioner Barbara Gordon enters the room.
I'll bet. Not every creep in Gotham wears a purple suit.
It'd make my job simpler if they did.
The Joker knew about Bruce. About me. Probably about you, too.
Someone knows, I'll give you that. But it's not the Joker. Not the real one.
And Bruce said he was dead.
And?
That's it. I know there's more. I'm part of this. I need the answers Bruce can't give me. I deserve them.
I thought talking about it would get easier over time. But some hurts never go away. Dick Grayson, Nightwing, had left to establish himself in another city. There were 3 of us then: Bruce, myself, and Robin. Tim Drake. Robin was alone when he came upon a woman in trouble.
Decades prior, a young Robin glides over Gotham.
Help! Help! Somebody please help!
Hero time.
He finds a young woman cornered by 2 thugs, who he easily overpowers.
That even sings up a little.
Not really, bird boy.
The woman pulls a large hammer out from under her trench coat and hits Robin in the head. As she does, her hat flies off, revealing the black and red jester hood of Harley Quinn. Robin lies unconscious on the ground as the Joker emerges from the shadows.
A bird in the hand.
We soon realized that Tim was missing. Night after night, we scoured the city, running down every lead, pressing every underworld connection. But no one had seen any sign of Robin for 3 agonizing weeks. There was nothing. Then one night, we were sent an invitation. Arkham. The asylum had been moved to a newer, high-security building. The old building had been partially demolished and hung open like a rotting wound.
Bruce Wayne, years younger in his original black and gray batsuit, and Barbara Gordon in her yellow and black batsuit break into the dilapidated asylum. They don't find anything strange at first, but they do hear a voice singing in the distance.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. And if that looking glass gets broke...
They follow the voice to the lowest level of the building and kick in another door, discovering a well-lit room that has been set up to look like a house, complete with a kitchen, a laundry room, and a dining table, which is being set by Harley Quinn.
Pardon, company.
The Joker, sitting in a large, comfortable chair, puts down the newspaper he was reading and smiles happily. Barbara slips into the shadows as Bruce Wayne approaches the clowns.
Hello there. Welcome to our happy home.
Where's Robin?
Robin? There's no Robin here.
Maybe he means a little J.
Of course, that's it.
They glance to the far end of the room, which is obscured by a blue curtain. Bruce Wayne pushes Harley Quinn aside and stalks toward the curtain.
No peeking.
She pulls out a bazooka from under the dining table and shoots Batman. The rocket explodes into ribbons, tying Batman up. Barbara, as Batgirl, prepares to throw a batarang to set him free, but he waves her down. Harley Quinn pats her bazooka lovingly.
Mommy's little helper.
You know, Bats, we've been doing this little runaround of ours for years. It's been loads of laughs, but the sad news is none of us is getting any younger.
That old clock's a-ticking.
Quite right, Pooh. And Harley and I were thinking it was time to start a family. Add a Joker Jr. to our merry brood.
But rather than go through all the joy of childbirth, we decided to adopt.
While Joker and Harley Quinn step toward the curtain, Batman subtly pulls out a batarang and begins cutting the ribbons binding him.
We couldn't do it legally, but then we remembered you always had a few spare kids hanging around. So we borrowed one.
The Joker pulls back the curtain. On an operating table, bound by restraints, is a young boy in a purple suit and shorts, with his hair slicked back and his face painted just like the Joker's.
My God.
No reaction, Bruce? He needed a little molding, of course. What kid doesn't? But in time, we came to love him as our own. Say hello, JJ.
Tim undoes his restraints and steps off of the operating table. Batman cuts free of the ribbons and tosses his batarang at the Joker, who dodges it. The Joker presses a remote control, and the operating table swoops him up and carries him away, with the Batman chasing close behind. Batgirl swoops in and kicks Harley Quinn away from Tim.
Robin! Robin! Tim, it's Barbara. Can you hear me?
Tim runs off in the same direction as the Joker and Batman.
Robin, stop!
Hands off, brat girl. Sweetie, get Mommy's bazooka.
While JJ goes for the rocket launcher, Batgirl and Harley begin fighting. Their brawl spills outside to the ruins of Arkham Asylum. Harley Quinn hides among the broken architecture as Batgirl searches for her. Just beyond the crumbling structure is a massive chasm that presumably swallowed the missing part of the building.
How could you help Joker do it?
Okay, so he roughed the kid up a little, but I'll make it right.
Yeah, you're mother of the stinking year.
You'll see. We'll be one big happy family.
They both hear a whistle and turn to see JJ holding Harley's bazooka. He tosses it to his mother as she comes out of hiding.
Good boy.
Harley fires at Batgirl, and these rockets actually explode. Batgirl dodges the first few, but is backed up to the edge of the chasm. Harley Quinn fires once more, and after Batgirl leaps over the rocket, she descends on Harley, knocking the weapon out of her hands. But as it hits the ground, it fires again, and the resulting explosion sends Harley Quinn careening backward toward the abyss. Batgirl grabs Harley's frilled cuff, but the momentum is too great, and both of them fall over the edge. They plummet downward, and Batgirl is able to barely grab a protruding block of the building's foundation. She begins hoisting Harley Quinn upward, but the cuff snaps off of Harley's suit. Batgirl watches in shock as Harley Quinn disappears into the abyss, but steels herself and is able to pull herself back up to safety. Back inside the asylum, Batman searches for the Joker in the operating theater.
What's the matter, Batman? No witty comeback? No threat? Then I'll provide the narration.
Contrary to the Joker's words, this radio drama already has a narrator. The lights in the theater dim, and as a projector activates, displaying a crudely drawn title card that reads, "Our Family Memories," followed by footage of the Joker conducting operations and experiments on Tim Drake.
I'll begin with how I peeled back the layers of the boy's mind, though he bravely tried to fight it at first. You would have been proud to see him so strong. But all too soon, the serums and the shocks took their toll, and the dear lad began to share such secrets with me. Secrets that are mine alone to know, Bruce. It's true, Batsy. I know everything. And like the kid who peeks at his Christmas presents, I must admit it's sadly anticlimactic. Behind all the sturm and batarangs, you're just a little boy in a playsuit crying for mommy and daddy. It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. Oh, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
Batman crashes into the projection room and grabs Joker by the collar.
If you don't like the movie, I've got slides.
He tosses his foe out of the projection room and into the center of the operating theater. Tim Drake is there as well, still smiling as he watches.
I'll break you in two.
Oh, Batman, if you had the guts for that kind of fun, you'd have done it years ago. I, on the other hand...
A knife slips out of the Joker's sleeve and he slashes Batman with it, then stabs it into his leg, causing him to fall to the ground.
You've lost, Batman. Robin is mine. The last sound you hear will be our laughter.
Joker tosses a gun to Tim Drake, JJ.
Here you go, sonny boy. Make Daddy proud. Deliver the punchline.
JJ pulls the trigger, and a bang flag pops out of the gun.
Tim.
Do it!
Tim Drake adjusts his aim slightly, and bang! The Joker falls backward as the flag skewers him in the heart.
That's not funny. That's not.
The Joker collapses on the ground, dead. Batgirl runs into the room and sees the Joker's corpse. Tim holding the gun, and an injured Batman forcing himself to his feet.
It's okay, Tim. It's okay.
Batgirl embraces her broken friend. In the present, Commissioner Barbara Gordon looks drained from simply telling the story.
We buried the Joker deep beneath Arkham. The only other person who knew what happened that night was my father, the first Commissioner Gordon. He promised to keep our secret. With his last act of cruelty, the Joker had tainted us all with his compromise and deception. I suppose he had the last laugh after all.
His girlfriend bought it too?
We never found her body, but I doubt she'd be starting trouble now.
And Tim?
Tim tried once or twice, but you know Bruce. I check up on Tim now and then. He's a top-level communications engineer, married, couple kids.
He deserves a happy ending, but he still has the most likely connection to that night.
On the outskirts of town, the middle-aged man in the yellow shirt works on the base of an industrial satellite dish, his workstation hovering halfway up the large structure. He speaks into a headset.
It looks okay on this side. I'm gonna go up to the dish.
He elevates his work platform and begins repairing some damaged wires at the top of the dish.
You might as well show yourself. I heard you a mile away.
Terry disables the cloaking function on his bat suit.
I'm no boy wonder anymore, but that old training never goes away, even in my
You heard him?
age. Tim Drake.
You heard about Bruce?
Barbara told me. That was too bad.
You're not too broken up.
I had nothing to do with it, despite what you may be thinking. When the Joker reappeared, I was just as surprised as anyone. Barb tell you the gory details?
More or less.
Look, it's been almost 40 years. It wasn't easy, but I managed to put it to bed and go on with my life. You'll have to do it yourself one day. We all did. We gave our best, but that wasn't good enough for the old man.
Regrets, Mr. Drake?
Tim turns away from Terry.
When I was younger, part of me thought I would go on. It would go on and on someday. Capes, costumes, playing hero. It was kid stuff. Bruce probably did me a favor. In the end, I was so sick of it I never wanted to see that stupid Robin suit again.
When Tim turns around again, Terry is already gone.
Some things never change.
As Terry flies back toward Gotham in the Batmobile, he speaks with Police Commissioner Barbara Gordon, who is now operating the Batcave's computer.
Were all of you bitter when you left?
Comes with the territory, McGinnis. Look up Nightwing someday. He's got stories.
Well, Drake's clean anyway. I've got one more lead to check out. Someone with a definite grudge to hold against Bruce Wayne.
That night, Jordan Pryce steps into a suite on a Wayne Enterprises yacht. A woman is laying in the bed, hidden in the dim light.
Caviar, soft music, and charming company. Amy, my dear, I can't think of any better way to celebrate my ascension to CEO of Wayne Enterprises. Me neither.
Dee leans out of the shadows.
Me neither.
Jordan turns and sees the other twin in the doorway.
You! Where's Amy? Missed the boat, I'm afraid.
They look out of the window to see Amy tied to a lamppost at the dock as the yacht begins sailing into open water.
Turn the yacht around!
The rest of the Joker's gang, minus the eponymous Joker himself, step into the room.
Detox, boss man. We're here to talk business.
We'll be quick. Wolf gets seasick easy.
Business is concluded.
Outside, Terry swoops onto the side of the yacht and presses his finger to the window and activates the suit's receptors to listen in on the conversation.
You've got the equipment you wanted. I gave you the security code so you could ransack the lab while those bunglers tried to kill Wayne.
Yeah, where is Wayne's terminal anyhow?
That means you get to stay top dog, and everyone's happy. So why are you here?
Well, the big guy who originally put us all in contact has decided you're a loose end.
And loose ends should be tied up.
They handcuff Pryce to the table while Ghoul speaks into a communicator.
Let me go!
Got him.
Then amscray pronto, kiddies. Things are about to start popping.
Let's go.
Terry crashes in through the window.
No one's leaving until I get answers.
Ghoul and the Dedes ignore him, smashing another window and jumping out of it. Wolf snarls at Terry, but Chucko holds him back.
No, you idiot, not now!
They jump out as well, and Terry sees them flying away on hover bikes. He also sees a massive spotlight shining on the yacht, while it is still out to sea. Terry quickly moves to Pryce and smashes the handcuffs.
They're getting away!
Well, I think they got a good reason.
What's happening?
Hang on.
Terry throws Jordan on his back, and they fly away from the boat. Behind them, the spotlight intensifies just before a massive beam of energy descends from the sky and nearly destroys the yacht. The resulting waves nearly crush Terry, but he manages to escape them and return Pryce to the docks, where a pair of officers approach them.
We saw the explosion.
You can ask Mr. Pryce about that.
Me? I had nothing to do with it!
That right.
Terry presses the button on the wrist of his suit, and a recording begins playing.
I gave you the security code so you could ransack the lab while those bunglers tried to kill Wayne.
The guards look at Pryce harshly.
I want my lawyer.
Well, I think the commissioner would like to hear this too. Night.
Terry returns to Wayne Manor and spends the night working at the Batcave's computer with Ace the dog by his side.
I'm spent. Every lead I had has gone face down. The Joker's still out there. What have you got?
Ace tilts his head slightly.
I don't know, pup. If I was the Batman I was supposed to be, I've cracked this by now. Would have punched the right data into the computer, or remembered that one little clue that everyone else overlooked.
It's rarely that simple.
Bruce Wayne slowly walks into the cave, wearing his evening robe.
How are you feeling?
Lousy.
Gordon told me what happened to Tim Drake.
That's why I didn't want you going up against the Joker. Imposter or not.
Nothing against your old partners, but I'm a completely different Batman. I was never a Robin.
He points to the smashed display case.
I never... Wait.
Terry notices that the Robin suit has been torn to shreds, unlike the others.
Joker smashed up the cases. But why was this the only costume he went out of this way to destroy?
Robin did shoot him.
A ghost out for revenge? I don't buy it. I talked to Drake. He's got less love for that costume than the Joker. I think somehow he's behind this.
That's crazy.
Well, so is Drake. Once.
He brings up some schematics on the computer.
Look, here's the readout of everything we know the Jokerz have stolen. Now let's combine those into something that would be used by a communications expert. Someone of Tim Drake's caliber.
Satellite jamming system. Whoever uses this can access satellite defense systems and fire them at will.
Somebody already has. I suspected Jordan Pryce might be the Joker, but the Jokerz were on your yacht trying to slag Pryce. I got him off the boat before it was blasted to splinters. I hate to say it, but I think your little Robin's turned into a bitter old crow. It's gotta be the brains behind this new Joker. It's harsh, but who else is there?
Suit up. Take the car and check it out. I'll monitor you from here.
What happened to leaving it to the cops?
Not their game.
There's something else I want to take with me.
Terry flies across town and breaks into a communications facility where he finds Tim Drake working alone in a lab.
Drake, I know you're the connection to the Joker.
He gets no response.
Don't pretend you didn't hear me.
Terry goes to grab Tim by the shoulder, but his hand goes right through him.
A hologram.
The lights in the room shut off and lasers activate, creating an energy field that blocks off the exits. A large screen blinks to life at the back of the room, displaying the Joker eating jelly beans from a large jar with a Jolly Jack label on it.
You guessed it, Batfake. The disgruntled Mr. Drake is indeed in my employ. Took him a few years, but he finally figured out who ran the real winning team.
The display changes to show a large satellite in orbit.
This is one of Uncle Sam's orbiting defense satellites. Hyperion class, laser armed. Handy little gadget for shooting down unfriendly missiles or giving someone a world-class hotfoot.
A simulation plays showing the results of the satellite firing multiple times on Gotham.
Think of it as urban tagging on a grand scale, reminding all and sundry that this is Joker territory. You're welcome to try and stop us, but I'm not taking any bets on that happening anytime soon. Toodles!
The screen deactivates and multiple laser turrets turn on instead. Terry dodges their blasts and looks around the room for a way out, but finds none. After going a few rounds, he realizes that the turrets are motion activated and throws a pair of batarangs, tricking them into firing on the main hub of the laser barriers. Terry breaks out of the facility and leaps into the Batmobile, where Ace is waiting for him.
Miss me?
Ace balks as the Batmobile takes off.
Computer, search for the name Jolly Jack.
The computer returns a single result for an address in downtown Gotham.
Abandoned candy factory. Just his style. Wayne, I think I've got something. Download this and tell Gordon to have her men at that address. I'm gonna...
The call cuts out, and the computer display changes to the Joker.
Aren't you the nasty tattletale, ratting me out before I had my fun? Papa Spank!
A massive spotlight appears over the Batmobile, and a moment later, the satellite fires. Terry is able to accelerate enough to escape the blast radius, but the Batmobile is hurtled forward by the force of the resulting explosion. Ace balks at Terry.
Yeah, I know.
The laser fires repeatedly, destroying chunks of the highway and the nearby buildings, following directly behind the path of the Batmobile. After several failed attempts, the blast radius is narrowed, and a consistent laser beam begins cutting a line in the road behind Terry. Cars are reduced to slag, and crowds attempt to flee the weapon's destruction as it reduces a park to a smoldering crater.
Oh, I better sit down before I bust a gut. Catch you later, kiddo.
The Joker cuts the video feed, and a moment later, the satellite deactivates.
It stopped. I'm going after him.
At the Jolly Jack factory, Chucko climbs into one of the facility's smokestacks with a bazooka, waiting to intercept the Batmobile. He fires and grazes the vehicle, causing it to rapidly lose altitude.
Ha, gotcha.
However, the Batmobile is now on a collision course with the smokestack.
Uh-oh.
The Batmobile spashes through the chimney, and Chucko lands on a crate while the vehicle skids to a halt on the roof. Terry leaps out and sees Woof.
Ace!
The Doberman leaps out of the Batmobile and begins attacking Woof. The hyena hybrid is quickly outmatched and flees.
Good bat dog.
Ghoul attempts to sneak up on Terry, but Terry punches him without even looking. Next, the Dedes flips onto the scene, but Terry activates his cloaking device just before they reach him.
Where'd he go? Ow!
One of the twins is hit from behind, and she instinctively retaliates against her sister.
Watch it! You watch it!
The other is hit from behind while still facing her twin.
It's him!
The duo sees a nearby box floating, and they charge at it, but the box is opened and its contents are poured out. Gumballs. Lots of gumballs. The Dedes slip and fall on the makeshift ball bearings before picking themselves up and dashing at Terry again from opposite directions. But Terry uses the suit's jets to fly upward just before they get to him, and they collide, knocking each other out.
Double down.
Terry makes his way into the factory and reaches the central room lined with machinery painted to look like clown heads, and a large table with various weapons and mechanical devices scattered on it.
Lovely playroom. You getting this, Wayne?
I see it. You keep your eyes open for the Joker.
It doesn't take long for Terry to spot a man in a lab coat collapsed at the far end of the room.
Tim.
Get up, Drake.
What? Who is it?
Where's the Joker?
Joker.
Terry helps Tim to his feet, but keeps a hand on his arm.
Drop the act. I know you're working with him.
No. Joker's gone. I don't know where he is, really.
The suit sensors aren't picking up any pulse fluctuations. He's telling the truth.
I don't do this anymore. I have a home and a family. I gave this up years ago. Kid stuff. That's all it was.
Tim walks toward the table, holding his head.
It may be the truth, but he's still whacked.
Fun and games. Boy wonder playing hero. Fighting the bad guys. No one ever gets... Oh God. I killed him. I didn't mean to. I tried so hard to forget, but I still hear the shot. Still see his dead smile. Every night the dreams get stronger. He's there when I sleep, whispering, laughing, telling me I'm as bad as he is. We're both the same.
I'm calling an ambulance.
No? I'm alright. Forgive me. Old, nasty memories twisting inside me like bad oysters. Nothing really. I'm perfectly fine.
How do you know my name?
There's nothing I don't know about you, Batfake.
Tim picks up a ball and throws it at Terry. The sphere transforms into a metal claw mid-air and clamps around Terry's wrist, sending a surge of electricity through him that is powerful enough to make him collapse.
Harry!
Have a timeout, kid. Can't let you spoil the party too soon. And Bruce, I'm sure you've got your monkey boy wired up somehow. That's just peachy, because I want you to see every minute of this. It's a killer.
Tim's entire body begins to morph. His skin goes pale, his hair becomes a dark green, his entire stature slims, and his facial features shift into that of the Joker.
My God.
Ooh, I never get tired of that.
Drake, you're the Joker?
Ha! That flabby oaf doesn't even realize I'm using him as a timeshare. Beneath this puckish exterior lies the mind of a genius, years ahead of my time. In the weeks young Robin was under my tutelage, I used him as the subject of my greatest experiment. Utilizing cutting-edge genetics technology, which I had pinched here and there, I encoded my DNA on a microchip and set it into Bird Boy's bird brain. Here.
The Joker turns and points to what appears to be a small mole on the back of his neck.
Everything that was me has been asleepin' all comfy and cozy inside Tim Drake's subconscious. At first, I had to limit the time I spent in Drake's body. He's not aware of what I do, chalking up any lingering memories to bad dreams. If his family misses him, I simply call wifey and tell her.
I'm working late, honey.
The changes come at will now, and soon I'll be strong enough to live in this body permanently. Mr. J's on the rebound, baby! My comeback party's gonna set the whole town on fire!
He types on a computer, and a transmitter on the roof sends a signal to the satellite.
So, where should I make ground zero? Gotham General, where our hero's dear little Dana is recuperating? Or here, in the happy garden of Miss Mary McGinnis? I always think it adds resonance to a hero's mission to have some defining element of tragedy in his background, don't you? Ah, but the one and only kickoff point must be stately Wayne Manor. Gone in a flash before Brucey can hobble to safety or mount a rescue. Don't worry, though. I'll be hitting those other spots soon enough. Adios, Brucey. I guess I should salute you as a worthy adversary and all that, but the truth is, I really did hate your guts. What about it, kid? Any last words for the old bat fart?
Yeah. Sick 'em.
Ace, the Doberman, leaps out of the shadows and pounces on the Joker.
Ace, here!
As the Joker recovers, Ace hurries over to Terry and bites through the device on his wrist.
Attaboy.
Ace bounds toward the Joker again, but the Joker reaches out with a joy buzzer on his hand and zaps the dog in midair.
End of the line, Snoopy.
Terry in and knocks the Joker on his back. As he hits the ground, his joy buzzer falls off his hand and tumbles into the computer's wiring.
No!
The satellite activates. The beam lands on the far end of Gotham, obliterating a building. With the settings unchanged since its last use, the laser is a thin, continuous blast, and it begins slowly moving toward the Jolly Jack factory.
Oh, good. The beam's headed here. Now I'll have to start all over again. Thanks for wrecking everything, kid. See you around.
Hold it.
Terry grabs the Joker as he attempts to walk away.
Oh, wise up, Junior. Game's over.
I'm taking you in.
Right.
The Joker punches Terry across the face, knees him in the gut, and then tosses him aside.
You're out of your league, McGinnis. I know every trick the original Batman and Robin knew at their peak.
Maybe, but you don't know a thing about me.
You? What's to know? You're a punk, a rank amateur, a costumed errand boy taking orders from a senile old man. Still, if it's a whooping you're a wantin'...
Terry runs for the building's exit.
That's right. Better to run and save yourself. That's about your speed.
When Terry gets to the exit, he pulls a lever, closing the door, and then breaks the lever off of its switch.
Let's dance, bozo.
The two brawl. Even though the Joker is inhabiting Tim Drake's body, his stamina and strength are clearly augmented, and he's able to match Terry blow for blow.
He's tough. Any suggestions, boss?
Joker's vain and likes to talk. He'll try and distract you, but don't listen. Block it out and power through.
Wait. I like to talk too.
After a few more exchanged punches, Terry knees the Joker between the legs.
Oof! What are you doing?
Fighting dirty.
The real Batman would never.
Terry twists the Joker's arm before shoving him away.
Ah!
Told you didn't know me.
Funny guy.
Can't say the same for you.
Impudent brat. Who do you think you're talking to?
Not a comedian, I'll tell you that.
Shut your mouth.
The Joker picks up a laser pistol from the tables and fires at Terry, who leaps up into the rafters.
The real Batman never talked to you much, did he? That's probably why you were so fixated on him.
He tosses a batarang, knocking the gun out of the Joker's hand.
Ah! Don't play psychoanalyst with me, boy.
Oh, I don't need a degree to figure you out.
He throws another batarang at the room's light box, making it so the only source of light is the satellite's laser in the distance. Joker looks around as Terry continues speaking, attempting to pinpoint his location.
The real reason you kept coming back was because you never got a laugh out of the old man.
I'm not hearing this.
Get a clue, Clowny. He's got no sense of humor. He wouldn't know a good joke if it bit him in the cape. Not that you ever had a good joke.
Shut up, shut up!
I mean, joy buzzers, squirting flowers. Lame! Where's the A material? Make a face, drop your pants, something!
Show yourself!
You make me laugh, but only because I kind of think you're pathetic.
Stop that!
Terry leaps around the rafters in the darkness, keeping the Joker on his toes.
So you fell in a tank of acid, got your skin bleached, then decided to become a supervillain. What, you couldn't get work as a rodeo clown?
Don't you dare laugh at me!
Why? I thought the Joker always wanted to make Batman laugh.
You're not Batman!
The Joker opens a box of grenades and tosses several into the rafters. Terry, the Batman, avoids being hit, but is still caught in the explosion and falls to the ground. He starts to get up, but the Joker throws another grenade, and the blast knocks the Batman toward the computer. Before he can stand again, the Joker lifts up a small table and pins the Batman down with it. Then he rips the Batman's mask off and begins to strangle him.
Come on, McGinnis. Laugh it up now, you miserable little punk. Laugh! I can't hear you.
Ha! Ha!
The Batman strains weakly as he reaches out toward the Joker and touches the back of the Joker's neck. The Joy buzzer is on his hand and makes direct contact with the microchip. The Joker spasms violently and the microchip shatters as it is overloaded by the surge of electricity. The Joker slumps over and within seconds reverts to the form of Tim Drake. The Batman puts his mask back on and puts Tim on his back.
Easy. I've got you.
Ace the dog barks at the closed factory door as the satellite laser closes in on the factory.
Way ahead of you, Mud.
He grabs a grenade and tosses it at the door, blasting it open. They manage to escape seconds before the laser reaches the factory, slicing through the walls like paper and making its way across the large building in seconds. As it reaches the center of the factory, the beam hits the transmitter and destroys it. Commissioner Barbara Gordon and her assembled troops outside the factory watch as the entire building is engulfed in a massive explosion. As fire and debris fill the night sky, the laser flickers off, and the satellite drifts out of orbit into the darkness of space. The next day, in the Gotham Penitentiary, a prison warden opens a cell.
Delia and Deidre Dennis, your grandmother's paid your bail, and you'll be released into her custody pending your trial.
Oh, joy.
The twin criminals walk out of their cell and are met by an elderly woman who scowls at them.
You rotten little scamps! I struggled to make a good home for you, and this is the thanks I get!
She hits them with her cane.
Ow! Break a grandmother's heart. I hope they throw the book at you. Oh, shut up, Nana Harley.
At Gotham Hospital, Commissioner Barbara Gordon walks into Tim Drake's room.
You don't have to cover up for me, Barbara.
The Joker's gone, Tim. You were just along for the ride.
As Commissioner Gordon sits by Tim's bedside, Terry walks into the room.
How are you doing, Mr. Drake?
Tim, this is Terry McGinnis.
We met the other night.
We did? Oh. I owe you big time.
Forget it.
For what it's worth, Bruce couldn't have chosen anyone better to put on the mask.
Coming from you, that means everything.
Sometimes the important things go unsaid. If there's one thing I've learned, you've got to appreciate the people in your life while you have the chance.
Not everyone is capable of expressing that, Tim, no matter how much they might feel it in their heart.
I know.
Terry gives Tim and Barbara his regards before stepping out into the hall. As he closes the door, he sees a familiar face walking toward the room.
Huh. What are you doing here?
It's where I should be.
Bruce Wayne steps toward the door, and Terry begins walking away.
Terry.
Terry stops and turns towards Mr. Wayne.
I've been thinking about something you once told me, and you were wrong. It's not Batman that makes you worthwhile. It's the other way around. Never tell yourself anything different.
Thanks.
They nod to each other, and Bruce Wayne opens the door.
Hello, Tim.
Hi, old man.
While Bruce Wayne, Tim Drake, and Barbara Gordon speak together for the first time in decades, Terry McGinnis makes his way to the roof and changes into his bat suit. As the Batman, he takes a moment to look out at Gotham City before donning his cowl and flying into the night. This has been our radio drama presentation of Batman Beyond. Thank you for listening. Terry McGinnis was played by Cam Griffin. The Joker was played by Joel Guttman. Bruce Wayne, Vilmos Egans, Warden, Nelson, and Jokerz number 3 were played by Lealin Queen. Tim Drake, Bonk, Warren McGinnis, Mr. Fixx, God, Jokerz number 1, Spy, and Security were played by Danny Hill. Barbara Gordon, Mary McGinnis, Dana, Ghoul, Passenger, and Police were played by Mary Rivette. Derek Powers, Chucko, Tom, Matt McGinnis, Joker's leader, Coach, Secretary, and Bunny Vreeland were played by Celeste English. Harley Quinn, The Deedes, Jordan Pryce, Kim, Chelsea, Joyce, Harry Tully, Kidnapper, Jokerz number 2, and Stephanie Drake were played by Abby Brenner. Narration was done by me, Sean Robert. Script adaptation was done by Joel Guttman. Audio engineering was provided by John H. Baker. We are pleased to announce that on Sunday, May 28th, we will be doing a radio drama double feature of the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie and Pooh's Heffalump movie. The performance will begin at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. For more nerdy content, please follow Digital Era Entertainment here on Twitch, and you can listen to our past radio drama performances on Digital Era Entertainment's YouTube channel. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and we hope you will join us again next time.
Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us across social media for updates. Thanks for watching!